Meninggalnya seorang pendaki wanita asal Brasil semakin memanas. Baru-baru ini pemerintah Brasil mengancam akan menggugat Indonesia di jalur hukum internasional karena menganggap tim SAR Indonesia tidak serius dalam menyelamatkan Juliana Eva Wisne saat masih terjatuh di jurang. Tentu saja hal ini semakin membuat warganet Indonesia semakin naik pitam dan terus mencoba membela diri. Sebelumnya sudah diketahui saat warganet Brasil dan Indonesia saling balas dalam memberikan rating wisata negara masing-masing dan saling serang di akun media sosial presiden kedua negara. Bukan hanya warga Indonesia, wanita bule cantik ini memberikan komentarnya mengenai kematian Juliana. Dia tidak setuju jika Rinjani harus ditutup sesuai keinginan keluarga Juliana, karena Rinjani ini adalah pendakian ekstrim yang baiknya adalah orang profesional yang melakukannya, bukan orang yang baru belajar melakukan pendakian seperti Juliana. Lagian Juliana ini tidak menyewa pemandu pribadi. Dia menggunakan pemandu secara berkelompok yang terdiri dari 6 orang. Mari simak apa katanya.
For days, my entire For You page has been about the tragedy that happened on Rinjani and the woman from Brazil, Juliana, who passed away because she fell into, I believe, the crater, or where all of the sand is on the top, all of the volcanic sand, and she wasn't able to be retrieved. And there's a lot of blame being put on the rescue team without considering the circumstances of Rinjani and the terrain and the difficulty of completing a rescue mission on an active volcano and how nearly impossible that can be. Combined with her clear lack of hiking skill, and this is by no means to disrespect her, it's really, really crucial as a tourist that if you choose to do a hike, even if you know, people complain the tour guides all they want, and they say, oh, but everywhere in Lombok and everywhere in Indonesia, you see advertisements, you know, hike Rinjani, hike Rinjani, hike Rinjani. But it's your job to research things yourself. You cannot rely on a guide company who's trying to make a living to tell you if you're fit to do something or not. They don't know you. They don't know your life experience. They don't know your skill level. Could they be asking more questions to better vet people to decide if they should be allowed to go up Rinjani? Sure. Absolutely. But you shouldn't hike an active volcano if you're not an experienced hiker. I've lived in Indo for 6 years. I've been invited by people to hike Rinjani many times. I won't do it because I'm not a hiker. I struggle going up to a small peak. I don't really enjoy hiking. It's not something I've tried to excel at and succeed with in my life. And when I saw how slippery it is towards the peak of Rinjani due to the sand, I know myself and I know how clumsy I am, and I know I would roll down that shit and you would never find me again. And that's just reality. So yes, there does need to be probably a regulation change in who is allowed to hike these places. But what happened to individual responsibility for our own choices and actions, and also recognizing risk? Because most of the time, if you do any high-risk activity anywhere in the world, especially in the Western world, if that's what we're talking about, Western standards, you're going to have to sign something that says that they're not responsible for your life. You are. You are responsible for your life. And people saying, well, she was left behind and this, that. If you're choosing to hike in a group, there's probably an option to get a private guide for a higher price point or to get a group guide, right? If you know that you are not an experienced hiker and you really want to go up Rinjani, then you should probably hire a private guide and not join a hiking group of people who probably have a pretty decent level of hiking experience and are able to complete the summit. If you hire a private guide and you need to take a rest, your guide can stand by you. But what is the guide supposed to do if they have, let's say, a group of 5 or 10 people and one person isn't feeling well? You either have to push through and stick with the group, or you get left behind. And I know they say you're not supposed to leave anybody behind on a hike, but you're also not supposed to hike if you're not prepared to hike. That's just how hiking works. I saw that her family was they were shocked that Rinjani wasn't closed down because of their daughter's passing. And while I have so much respect for their grief and what they're probably experiencing and the shock they're going through right now, that's unfair to close an entire mountain down because of one person's irresponsibility. That's not fair. That's people's livelihood. And it's a beautiful place that a lot of people come to Indonesia just for that. And now maybe they've trained for it for a really long time. Maybe they spend a long time summiting smaller peaks to prepare for that hike. And now they're supposed to close it down because of one person's irresponsibility. And once again, I don't want to disrespect her in any way, but we need to use this opportunity to really take a moment to anywhere in the world and any activity that you're doing when you're on holiday, consider your skill level. I see it all the time with surfing. My partner has a surf school here in Bali, and he's very, very, very adamant that if people don't have a high skill level in swimming, or if they have fears around the ocean, they need to book a private lesson. Because people will want to be cheap and save $200K and book a group, and then they're miserable and they can't get back to the lineup and they're flapping around and freaking out. Is that the coach's fault? No, it's your fault for being cheap. Active volcanoes are not photo ops in general. There was an instance just a few months back, I think it was Agung. Somebody died on Agung because they tried to go up without a guide, probably trying to save money, and they died. And then Balinese people had to have so much ceremony, bring so much bantan, do so many offerings, because somebody irresponsibly died on their sacred mountain. Accountability matters. It's extremely cloudy up there. If we're coming back to Rinjani, to cycle back to it one more time, it's extremely cloudy, very hard to send helicopters in. Nobody can go down that to retrieve somebody. If they send a rope down, there's no way for them to grip in because they're on sand. There's so many circumstances. So to repetitively disrespect the extremely skilled team that tried to rescue her is not necessary to honor her life. We mustn't blame people who have trained their entire lives for this. Indonesian hikers don't play games. So for you to act like they don't have the skill set, and in this country they can do this, and in this country they can do that, then you don't know Indonesian hikers. They're extremely good at their craft, and they're very, 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 very skilled at mountaineering. I mean, Indonesian hikers will hike in flip-flops and live off of pot meat. And not to say that that's the way that you should hike, but I'm saying don't act like they don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Kabar soal Indonesia yang akan digugat lewat jalur hukum nasional langsung bikin heboh publik. Tapi, bagaimana tanggapan pemerintah? Menteri Koordinator Hukum dan HAM, Yusril Iza Mahendra, akhirnya buka suara. Dengan tegas, beliau menyatakan bahwa gugatan tersebut tidak akan bisa dilakukan. Dan ternyata alasannya cukup mengejutkan. Penasaran apa kata beliau? Mari kita simak bersama penjelasan lengkap dari pakar hukum tata negara ini.
Tadi malam dan hari ini kami menyampaikan keterangan pers hubungan dengan insiden kematian Juliana Martins, warga negara Brazil yang meninggal dunia karena insiden kecelakaan beberapa hari yang lalu di Gunung Rinjani di Nusa Tenggara Barat. Pemerintah Republik Indonesia mengharapkan insiden kematian Juliana Martins ini tidak mengganggu hubungan baik yang telah terbina selama ini antara pemerintah Republik Indonesia dengan pemerintah Brazil. Apalagi sekarang ini Presiden Prabowo Subianto tengah melakukan kunjungan resmi ke Brazil, menghadiri pertemuan para pemimpin BRICS di sana, dan kita mengharapkan dan menghimbau semua pihak supaya kasus kematian, insiden kematian dari Juliana Martins ini tidak mengganggu hubungan baik antara pemerintah Indonesia dengan pemerintah Brazil.
Meski sempat terjadi perselisihan antara warganet Indonesia dan Brazil, kita harus ingat bahwa emosi sesaat tak boleh merusak hubungan baik yang sudah lama terjalin antar dua negara. Tragedi Juliana adalah duka bagi semua. Mari jadikan ini sebagai momen untuk memperkuat empati dan menyelesaikan perbedaan dengan kepala dingin, melalui diplomasi dan rasa saling menghormati. Kalau kamu setuju bahwa perdamaian lebih penting daripada perdebatan, tulis pendapatmu di kolom komentar. Jangan lupa untuk like, share, dan subscribe agar kamu nggak ketinggalan pembahasan penting lainnya. Sampai jumpa di video berikutnya.